Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is technical analysis of the stock market today. Today is Monday, December 1st. We're going to take a look at the market the way we usually do, and then I'm going to look at my 4 volume leaders of the 41 stocks that I watch. The 4 biggest volume stocks are Apple, Facebook, Yahoo, and Twitter. Okay, we're going to start off here with the Dow. The Dow was down 51 points today. Kind of fluctuated. We end up right in the middle, actually, if you look at the bar right there. And again, not closing below the 10. It's riding up here. It kind of looks like it's curving over a little bit. You'll see that I think it is now maybe the only one that is not closed below the 10. So let's go ahead and proceed and take a look. The S&P 500, SPX, closed below the 10-day for the first time now since back here on October 17th. Okay, so that doesn't necessarily mean it's breaking down, but you know, this is a sign that it could be the start of something. Okay, if you look back previous times, here's where you got a first close here on September 9th and proceed to go down for a little bit, then pull back and then roll back over again. So in my, from my perspective, this has got to happen before it's going to break down, but it could just be a little pullback, could be sideways, just not sure, but this could be the start of something. So, that's the way that looks. The NASDAQ, it closed down below the 10-day for the first time, also since back here on October 17th. So, pretty good strong move here on the NASDAQ. I can't remember. I think it was at one point, at least down 1.5%. And that looks to me to be about what it did. So pretty strong move there. New York Composite has now closed 2 days in a row below the 10. So this is going to get interesting here. And again, the New York Composite is all equity. It's all stocks, all common stocks. So it is not pushed to a new high and is now looking like it's starting to roll over a little bit. So we've gotten the DI minus crossing above DI plus. I mean, that's just this, potential start. The RSI is now closing slightly below 50. So we'll see if this see how this continues to act. But there is no, let's look up in here. Is there any divergence? I don't think, I'm not seeing, over this last move, I'm not seeing any strong divergence on the RSI or on the DI plus. So this could just be the setup to some kind of sideways. Well, it'll let us know pretty quick. Let me go back to this. Okay, the last one, the Russell 2000, again, also 2 closes and also very strong down. So again, as I've talked about, this trend line from, this is a trend line from March 2009, continues to be strong resistance, repulsing it once, twice, 3 times, and we have now got the lowest close in here since back here. Again, October, lowest close in a month. Okay, so we've now closed below all of the trading of the month of November on the Russell 2000. Okay, also, and I think I'm going to note this in the post, and the Dow Jones Transportation Average was down 2.71% today. And if you convert that in Dow Industrials points, that's equivalent to being down 483 points on the Dow Industrials. So the transports got killed today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the indicators here. Short-term trading index, not doing a whole lot of anything. Back in the middle again. We'll find out whether this was a little bit of a warning shot or not. The way we barely got below 0.9. The market volatility, the CBOE market volatility, the VIX, 2 nice closes in a row now above the 10, and a pretty good pop here today, and it's starting to pull the 10 back up in here. It'll be interesting to see if we do get across, because as I mentioned on Saturday, we've not really gotten a big move unless you get the moving averages to cross and set it up. So that's what I'll be watching for. And so this is the highest close on the VIX since, what is this, 14.29. And okay, so the highest close since back here November 4th. So again, almost the entire month of November. Okay, now let's take a look at the high-low index. And this plummeted below the zero line. Okay, so here we had, matter of fact, the number of new lows was something like 333. I can't remember the exact number, but it was the biggest number since back October here, right in here, October 15th, 16th, something like that. So in a month and a half, the biggest number of stocks hitting 52-week new lows, biggest number in about 6 weeks. And so now you see this, you know, this trend line across in here was kind of a prelude again. It stayed below it right in here. And you remember how when I was talking about after we got the cross here, we got the cross here, I saw this little M top. We got a little bit of a version of an M top in here, although it kind of did a little funky top here. But yes, it's kind of an M top. And then now we got this plunge down. And so similar to a move here that we got. So it's going to be interesting to see, does this mean that we're breaking down? This was back in July 16th timeframe before the July move. And of course, this was the prelude before the the big sell-off in the second half of September and into October. Well, I'm having a problem with my voice today. Keep trying to drink water, but I don't think the water is helping a whole lot. But all right, so now this is going to be interesting to watch, and this could be setting up for something maybe a little bit more than just a sideways or short-term pullback. We'll see. That's it for the indicators today. Let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the 4 stocks we're looking at. Apple. Let's start off with Apple. Apple had a big move. I mean, look at this move today. It was huge. Okay, the range was almost 8 points from high to low. Okay, that's the biggest bar. I mean, you got to go all the way back here. There was a big ranging day. And that had something to do, I think, with their launch, prior to their big announcement, or maybe that was their launch day. I can't remember. But this was a big move. I'd been looking for this to top out of this third intermediate wave up, okay? And so here we got this channel, and this is pushing up against the top of the channel. Slight throw over here with what I'm looking at as a 5th minor wave. So now I am looking for a 4th intermediate wave to come in and play out. So what does that mean? We had a first intermediate wave here, a second intermediate wave here, a nice big powerful third intermediate wave, and so now I'm looking for wave 4. Now, where is it going to come down to? I mean, my guess is that it'll come down into this range, into this 4th wave somewhere, and there's a gap right here. So if it'll, will it pull all the way back to 100? I don't know. And, again, I'll have to look at this type of wave. A lot of times the waves 4 and 2 alternate, okay? So this looks a little bit like a flat, okay? Like a little bit of like an A, B, C type move, although it's a little complex, kind of funky, almost like an A, B, C, X, A, B, C in here. So we may get a sharp, simple, quick, pullback down in here to 100. So we'll just have to watch and see. But again, my expectation at this point is that it'll be wave 4 and then a 5th move to the high side. 5th and final move of this impulse wave. All right, the next one that we're going to look at is Facebook. They're number 2 on the volume list. The volume, 31 million shares traded today. So this looks almost a little bit like an evening star. Now, I talked about this yesterday when I reviewed that I got out of a trade on Facebook. I'd been in puts in here, got stopped out right in here on this day. And here we come up, and this looks a little bit like a diamond. And yes, it's pulling back like I was, if it was going to be a diamond, it's pulling back. Now, is this enough to go in and jump in and buy? This moving average cross is kind of bothering me to jump to the downside. So I want to wait and see at least one more bar and see how it trades, where it closes. and we'll go from there. But this is kind of an interesting look to an evening star type of reversal candlestick formation of 3 bars in here. Okay, so this could be the start of something that would break on down out of this top. Okay, the next one we're going to take a look at is YHOO. And YHOO, I now believe that this move in here went all the way out to here in terms of a complex wave 4 correction. You know, and the wave structure in here, not really sure. But the nice thing that's really, you know, this is pretty clear in here in terms of a 5 wave. I think a minor wave 1 up. So if that's the case, if this is one of a 5th intermediate wave, okay, remember we were always looking at 5 waves in an impulse sequence, okay? So then in the 5th wave, we're going to get 5 waves again. So here's wave 1, here's wave 2, nice zigzag. Here's a powerful wave 3, look at the gap in it, you know, and you pull back. So now we're doing some kind of wave 4. We may get some kind of an A, B, C, pull back up to the 52 range, 52 and a half, and then come back and correct. We'll just have to see. But again, wave 4 should not overlap wave 1, which means it should not go down here and go below 44, in my opinion, you know, to make this a valid 5-wave sequence. So just gonna have to watch to see what kind of corrective action we get in here. And but right now, I mean, it's been acting super strong. There's been really no divergence. The RSI got pretty overbought, but again, a lot of times that just means you're in a strong, powerful move to the upside. And you know, when it's up here in the mid 80s, it could pull back down. The RSI pull back down to like 45, 40, and you know, and then it goes again. So we'll just have to. I mean, look at the demand index is positive. Not really seeing any divergence. Of course, you are seeing divergence between here and here, but sometimes when they get that far apart, let me look at this. And see, you're not seeing it on the RSI. So, all right, I'm gonna stick with this wave count and looking for a pullback, and then I think there'll be another 5th minor wave up, and that should complete the 5th wave. Again, very similar to what Apple's doing in terms of the wave structure, wave sequence, wave count. Let's take a look at Twitter. Twitter, on the other hand, is going the other direction. Okay, so we had this head and shoulders top, we had the disappointing earnings, had the breakdown. I thought it looked like maybe it was trying to turn in here. It was getting some bullish divergence coming in, but it just, this trend is continuing. This move today was pretty strong, breaking this little trend line here. So my assessment is it looks like we're going to get, you know, further move to the downside because of this break of this type of move. So where are we looking at support? I mean, right down in probably around 36, in the 36 to 37 area. So a few points below to see if we get some kind of support come in. You break below that, then you're going to be down into the low 30s, I think, but we'll just have to see. This line here was an estimate of the head and shoulders estimated move, so it really hasn't quite completed that. The one thing it did do is close this big gap over here, okay? So right here, the high was 38.92, the low was 38.81. So it closed that gap. And so now it looks like it's trying to continue pushing further to the downside. So we'll see how much more action we get. Let's look at the indicators real quick, and then I think that's going to be it. RSI, yeah, again, see how deeply oversold, down to around 21. And then in the rally, it just got up to only to like 51, 52 on the RSI when you see this. And now it's coming back down. So all right, that's it on Twitter. We'll have to continue to watch and see, you know, what kind of follow through we get to the downside. This is a pretty strong day to the downside. All right, we'll be back on Wednesday with another market update, and we'll take a look at you know, some of the international indices then, and look at some of the Chinese stocks. I think I'm going to keep up with that same pattern. I'm kind of rethinking all of that, but we'll see. All right, everyone, have a great Tuesday, Wednesday, and we'll see how things flow. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. Hey, if you felt like the video was helpful, please share it on Twitter or, social media, Facebook. It'd be great. I'd really appreciate it if you do that. Have a great Tuesday, everyone.